Hi, I'm Brandy. This is Hound Dog Hollow, and today I'm going to be doing another side-by-side of a tarot decks. These are my two favorite decks. This is the Lover's Path Tarot, my first ever tarot deck that I've had at this point literally half of my life. And this is my new favorite, the Tarot of the Divine. The reason I chose to do a side-by-side of these two decks is because they're very similar. That's probably why I love them so much. So let's just jump right into it. They both use fairy tales to talk about the archetypes represented in each of the card. Not just fairy tales, legends, mythologies, myths, all those things. So let's begin. These are old and beat up. Please don't judge me. They have been well loved. Alright, so let's just get these close together. They both have the Fool card. So this is The Little Mermaid by Hans Christian Andersen. And this is the Magical Flute, with the couple being Tamino and Pamina. This, of course, deck is obviously famous couples in mythology. So it's a little bit narrower scope. The Magician here is Merlin from, the King Arthur stories. And this is the Fairy Godmother from Cinderella. They are both, the High Priestess is both Scheherazade, which, let me just say, that is my absolute favorite representation of Scheherazade. 1001 Arabian Nights, absolute favorite High Priestess ever. This is Caesar and Cleopatra, and obviously the Virgin of Guadalupe. My favorite Empress card ever, ever, ever. Beautiful, perfect, wonderful. Both of these are King Arthur. Both of the emperors are King Arthur. Love it. Definitely my favorite emperor. So some of the names are a little bit different, if you haven't already noticed. Innocence instead of Fool, Magic instead of Magician, Wisdom instead of High Priestess, Fertility instead of Empress, Power instead of Emperor. Which, of course, those are keywords, but they're not the actual names of the cards as we know them. So this is the Hierophant. This is my favorite, White Buffalo Calf Woman. This one is the Romeo and Juliet, which I do not like. So definitely I like this one better. This is the Lovers, so they chose Beauty and the Beast. This is Isis and Osiris. I like them both, but I definitely like this one better. This is the Chariot. Definitely this one's better. This is a Norwegian myth. I forget what it's called. The Three Princesses of Whiteland is the Norwegian myth that's from. And this is the Tale of Tristan and Isolde. Strength. This is the Tale of Tamlin. Love it. This is Brunhild and Siegfried. Also very strong, but definitely leaning towards Tamlin. This is the Hermit, and they chose a monk who was in love. So Avalord, the monk, who's in love with Eloise, and wrote her all these love letters and wrote all these things about her. So I like that a lot. That's definitely, a monk is definitely something I would consider a hermit. But this one's also very beautiful. So this one is the Druid and the White Stag, a Celtic legend. So they're both very good. Wheel of Fortune is Anansi, or Zeus and Danae. Definitely not a fan of Zeus. So definitely Anansi. This is Justice. The tale was Odysseus and Penelope, or I forget the name of this one, so it's really hard for me to pronounce. Hang Osa, Korean legend. So definitely I like the look of this one more because, yes, Odysseus did come back to serve justice to those who had, tried to take over his house, but I've never been a fan of the Odyssey. The Hanged Man is Sleeping Beauty, or Orpheus and Eurydice, which it is a really good story, but it kind of pisses me off, so I'm definitely going to go with Sleeping Beauty. I like both of these. This is the Death card, and so this is Pluto and Persephone. And this is King Valamon the Polar Bear King, which I grew up with King Valamon the Polar Bear King, so I'm partial to this one, but they're both very good. This is Temperance, and Venus and Vulcan are the couple, which are not my favorite couple. And God, what's her? I don't know how to say it. Bodhisattva Avalokiteshvara. Avalokiteshvara. Sorry, I can't pronounce them very well, especially having not heard them. So the devil, which is temptation, Paola and Francisca, or Boitata, which is basically this fire snake that burns the rainforest down. So definitely I like this one, although I understand the temptation behind this one. The Tower is Rapunzel or Dido. Both of these stories are really good tower moments. They're pretty horrifically awful. Except for Dido doesn't get happily ever after. She's abandoned, and Rapunzel eventually finds her prince again. The Star is Dante and Beatrice, so Dante is in Dante's Inferno, and this is, I forget the name of this little, Sister Alyunushka and brother Ivanushka, which is a Russian fairy tale. So this one is just so cute and just so sweet and so innocent. I absolutely love this one. But I love the way, this one's just beautiful art. I love it. The Moon, or Illusion. So they picked Ivan and Odette from the Black Swan? Or, God, the Swan Princess. You know what I'm talking about, my goodness. Because now I can only think about Natalie Portman. But you know the fairy tale that I'm talking about. And the Moon, which it was, God, it's another name. Princess Kaguya from Japan. I love this imagery much better, and it actually, so they both have to do with the moon, but I like this one a little better. The Sun, which was Cupid and Psyche. I love this. And of course Ra, the sun god. So this one's my favorite here. Judgment, which is Tannhauser and Elizabeth. It's never been my favorite card, but I'm not super familiar with, God, what's the little monkey's name? Sun Wukong, the Monkey King. So I'd have to look into it. I'm meh on both of these. I love both of these. I love both of these cards. So this is Dionysus and Ariadne. Absolutely love this fairy tale. Absolutely perfectly represents the world to me. And I cannot pronounce her name. I'm going to try. Hinemoa and Tutanake. Beautiful, beautiful fairy tale, both of them. I absolutely love both of these world cards. The Ace of Cups. So here's where they differ. Another major difference is that for the suits, the Chris Wilder, she decided to keep one story for each suit. So this suit, Water, is all about Tristan and Isolde. Whereas every single card in this deck is a different fairy tale. So some of them you may recognize. So Masuo Saki is this one. Two of Cups is Enkidu and Gilgamesh. And many of you will recognize these fairy tales. I love both of these Three of Cups. They're really nice. Apsara, Cambodian. Four of Cups, Nightingale from Denmark. Fifth of Cups, La Llorona. I love this one. Just because, like, when you see things that you're familiar with or represent your culture, I think it really... I like to see Latinos specifically in decks, because it's hard enough to get decks with adequate representation of people of color, but Latinos specifically, I think this deck does better than the other decks that I have. Six of Cups, the Snow Queen. So cute. They're so cute. Seven of Cups. This is, I turned one and I didn't turn the other. Seven of Cups is Aladdin. Eight of Cups is Moses. This one's really hard. Taj al-Muluk and the Princess Dunya from Iran. It's an Arabic folktale. So really beautiful. The Ten of Cups is Julnar the Seaborn from Persia. The Page of Cups is Bukunawa and the Seven Moons from the Philippines. Again, Filipinos are not something I see represented very often, but as Liberius pointed out to me, this was one. Very beautiful. I love it. The Knight of Cups is Halabu the Hunter from Mongolia. The Queen of Cups is Yemoya. She's a Yoruba deity. Beautiful. And this one is Isolde. The King of Cups is the Boy in the Dragon Pearl. And there's a story on here on Netflix, and I forget what it's called, but this story, this fairy tale is on Netflix right now. It's, God, I can't remember, but you'll see it. It's about dragons and pearls, and you can't miss it. So yeah, here's the Ace of Coins, which is Jack and the Beanstalk. And this one, all of the coins suit is about Zeus and Danae's relationship. Ripped Sunt from the Pacific Northwest. That's literally where I live, so beautiful. Love it. Bunj Kari and Banj Karini from Nepal. That's Dido. Is it Dido? I'm second guessing myself. It's not Dido. God, it's Danae. Condor's Wife from Peru. This is my favorite five of Pentacles ever. It's the little matchstick girl. And I think it's a really, really good representation because this little child will freeze to death right outside of church full of wealth. Nothing, like, it moves me like no other. It really speaks to me, that message there. The Woman Who Was Kind to Insects from Alaska. It's an Inuit fable. Na Hutzing from Mexico. It's an Aztec fable or mythology. Six Swans is a German fairy tale. The Nine of Coins, The Legend of the Watermelon from Vietnam. The Ten of Coins is Pan Hu from China. And then we have the Page. So this is Danae, the princess who was impregnated by Zeus, who came to her with a swan, and she ended up giving birth to, like, you know, a hero. And this is Baby Neda, this from Sweden. The Knight is Perseus, who is Zeus and Danae's son. You probably recognize him from some of his fairy tales. And this knight is Hetziebib from South Africa. So this beautiful queen is Waramurungandu from Northern Australia. And this is Hera. And then the beautiful king, I love it. It's the world turtle. The turtle that has the world on his back. That's the Iroquois. And of course Zeus. I'm going to say that this is a misstep, and let me just say. Zeus is the king, his actual wife is the queen, and the princess is the girl that he had sex with when he's married to somebody else. And the prince is their illicit son. I don't care for Zeus. He's a philanderer. Not my favorite. But I digress. Ace of Swords is the Gordian knot. And the suit of arrows, which is also swords, is the Cupid and Psyche fairy tale. Sita from the Hindu epic Ramayana from India. And of course there's Cupid and Psyche. Crane Wife, Japanese fairy tale. Fenrir, Norse mythology. Probably recognize him as one of the werewolves in Harry Potter. Five of Swords is Isis, Osiris, and Set. So this is Danae and Perseus. So the whole, the Wheel of Fortune and all of that in this deck is here, represented here. Danae and Perseus, her son. This one is Coyote. It's a Salish legend from the Pacific Northwest. This one is Donkey Skin. It's a French fairy tale. This one is the story of Oedipus. It's a Greek mythology. The Ten of Swords is Sedna, which is from Canada. It's Inuit mythology, and basically this poor girl was betrayed by, in some tales it's her father, and basically he throws her into the ocean, and when she tries to get back in the boat he cuts off her fingers. So pretty good betrayal vibes there. The Princess of Arrows in this one is Psyche, and the princess here is Princess Pariziri, an Arabic fairy tale. Here's Cupid. This is Hang Tuah from Malaysia. The Queen of Swords is Turandot from China. And this one's Venus. And Adonis is the King of Swords here, but the Griffin is the King of Swords here. And I'm going to say Griffin is better, in my opinion. The Magic Paintbrush is the Ace of Wands, and all of the aces are about Brunhild and Siegfried. Janus is the Two of Wands from Italy. The Three of Wands is the Enchanted Pig from Romania. The Four of Wands is Mohini and Aravan, India. The Pandavas are from India as well. Yanega is from Burkina Faso, a Mossy legend. This is our own John Henry. That's an American, from Alabama, American folktale. Rainbow Crow from North America, Lenape. Valisa the Beautiful from Russia. The Timbo Tree. The Ten of Staves. Guaranian legend. Muindo is the Page of Wand from Congo. And Brunhild is the princess, which is their page version. The Knight is Tatterhood from Norway. And in this one it's Siegfried. The Queen is Pele. Look at her, so beautiful. Or Africa. And the King is the Phoenix versus Wotan. So very cool. I love both of them. Honestly, this one suits me as a person now, but this one has so much history and love and my energy put into it that I could just never let it go. So I hope you enjoyed this side by side. I'll be doing a few more. I have quite a bit of lunar decks that I could do side by side. I have quite a bit of goddess and divine feminine energy that I could do side by side. I have a couple animal ones. So let me know if you like these two videos and you want to see more of that content on my channel. As always, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Love you. Bye.